Autovlog. You said that this is your next car. You clearly have good taste. And today, I'm gonna be reviewing your next car for you. Hey guys, it's Sai. I am here at Elite Motor Cars in Concord, where they have some crazy Italian cars I'm about to show you guys. Check it out. Right here is the 458. They're actually open for us to take a look at. Wow. It's beautiful. Check it out. Next to it is an R8, a Scuderia, which is also opened up. Check it out, guys. There's carbon on the door, and I was just sitting inside. It's super raw inside. If you guys see, there's no floor mats, and it's totally just meant to be driven on the road or track. It's awesome. It's crazy, and these are the sports seats, but they're so comfortable and they hug you, which is just crazy to me that this Ferrari has sports seats that are so comfortable. All right. Hop out of here. We have a GT3. Of course, you gotta have your beautiful Maserati. And this, guys, is a 2014 F12. Check it out. This is the car we're gonna be taking out to drive and review today. And it's quite a beauty. It is optioned out and should be so fun to drive. Yep, she definitely is beautiful without even trying. Wow. The first thing that really pops out to me are the lines. This car is a silvery gray color, I mean like a glittery gray color. It definitely brings out the lines in this car. It's beautiful. This is part of the active aero system. This flap actually opens up. And even on the side here, it's just a hole essentially. The air goes through here and out of here. Beautiful. It's so elegant and so sporty on the outside. Although it's a flagship Ferrari, it has some of the most civilized components, like this parking sensor right here. And yet less than a foot away from it is the active aero system, which helps with the airflow of the car. Standard are massive front and back carbon ceramic brakes, and I just think they look great. This car is fitted with the Scuderia shields, which I think look amazing, and I personally would not get a Ferrari without them. And of course, this car is designed by Pininfarina, like most Ferraris. The black rims, which are factory, just look amazing and totally add to the car. As I said, this car is very simple and elegant looking from the back. This is the exhaust. It's not super loud, so if that's something you guys are looking for, it might need to be changed out. And this is the F1 brake light, which is super cool. I also really like that it doesn't have an F12 badge on it, so you kind of just have to know what car it is. Okay, so we're gonna start it so we can hear the exhaust. You can actually pop the trunk right from the key. Here we go. It's actually quite a bit of trunk space. I think it's definitely more than the SV, which is super nice because you could definitely use this car as a road trip car because it definitely has space for your luggage. Let's take a look at what powers this beast. Or should I say beauty? Is it a beauty or a beast? You guys tell me. So how you open the car is you pull this red latch. Because it's red, it looks like you're not supposed to pull. It looks dangerous to pull, actually. Here we go. Wow. It's a massive, normally aspirated V12 that cranks out 731 horsepower and 508 pound-feet of torque. That moves this car 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Craziness. Let's take a look at the interior. The first thing you notice is this car has optional sports seats. It's really thin, so it looks like it's not comfortable, but actually it is very, very comfortable. It's super deceptive. But the one thing about the sports seats though is it doesn't have height adjustment. So they're good for somebody with a little bit more height, like Autovlog for example, but they're not super great for me. I'm 5'2", and you guys will see the struggle. The sports seats have this fabric because the car was custom made, so even the inside on the center console you'll be able to see this fabric. I'm not sure what it is, but it's really cool. And of course, the Ferrari horse. When we sit inside the car, carbon fiber is an option, but this car doesn't have it. The cross-drilled pedals look so cool and so racy. I think another really cool thing about this car is everything is so focused for the driver. Like you can see on the center console here, everything is tilted. Like look at these buttons, everything is tilted towards the driver, which is so cool. You'll also notice it's super minimalist. Like this is how you control the airflow, this is reverse, this is automatic manual mode, how you change it, and this is the race start for this car. Of course, hazards. Super minimal, super functional, super racy. One of the coolest things about this car is everything is on the wheel. On the wheel, you have your turn signals right here, which are just buttons. Then you have your lights, your suspension, your start-stop button, and windshield wipers. And of course, the Manatino, which is how you adjust the different modes of this car. Also, you have race lights up here, which show you when you need to shift, so they light up, as you guys will see in the drive, which is super cool. So because everything is on the steering wheel, there is nothing on the sides here, except of course, the giant paddles. Another really cool thing about this car is you just see the RPMs and which gear you're in will actually light up right here. So you don't really see speed, you just know what gear you're in and your RPMs. Let me actually start up the car so you can see what it's like lit up. So you put the key in, and then you press the start-stop button. Oh, it's saying doors open. Yes, because the doors are open. It's beeping at us. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like turned on. I am too short to see over the wheel of the F12 because this car has the sport seats and they don't elevate up I'm 5'2", and I can't see over the wheel. So we're figuring out creative solutions for me to be able to see over the wheel and drive this car.
Let's take a look.
All right. So far we have towels on the seats, and we just found this toilet seat like...
I think this will fit an F12. I think if we put it like that. Oh my God.
Short people problems.
Okay, I think that's
All right,
a...
can I see over the wheel? Let's find out. I can see over the wheel! Oh my God! Revolutionary! Seeing over the wheel. Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, he said the cameras are running.
Yeah, so we're good to go. I'll take the handheld, I guess, and you might need that. It's not keyless.
Oh.
Welcome to Ferrari.
Yeah.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're like, I'm
really
sitting so low and you're like way up here.
I have too much height, but it's not a problem because like now I just see everything. That's so funny.
What, are you pressing the start button? Now you
I wasn't actually pressing it.
These cars are really sensitive to angle. There's plenty of fuel in it, but it's...
Oh, yeah, you think that's why that's happening?
Yeah, no, I know so.
Okay, cool, so... Are we in manual mode?
No, it's gonna always starts off in automatic.
So, where...
So you can see like the center screen where it says auto. If we want to turn auto off, now it's off. Now it's just you. The Manatino, we're on sport. We can leave it on sport, that's fine. Race is much more aggressive with the traction, and that's what we want to be careful with. And see, it's so quiet when the valves are closed. Just gotta wake it up.
I don't know.
It's really light though.
Yeah, it's a DCT, right?
Yeah.
So it's very, very smooth and super easy to drive. It's
Right,
just
like
a
the
crazy
steering's
part. Like,
crazy
it's a
light.
Ferrari, but it's so easy to drive.
So do you know where the turn signals are?
Oh, wait, they're on the wheel, right?
Yeah.
They're right here. There we go.
Which is actually, when you start using them, it's amazing. Instant shift though with the dual clutch.
Wow.
But it's very quiet and civilized and tame. I mean, it's a GT.
Because I thought it would be very loud, but it's actually
not at all. When the exhaust opens up and you hear the car from outside, it's loud. But in the car, I mean, there's a lot of sound deadening. It's a very spacious car.
Wow. Does a great job cornering for sure.
And the power.
Alright, let's do it.
Did you hear the tiny little backfire?
It was fun until this guy. So the wheel too, it's very like the slightest movement will move the car.
It's very sensitive, right? I mean, you almost get the sensation of the car being twitchy. It takes some time to get used to.
Right, because if you go like this, the wheel will definitely move. But really, I think it's so smooth. A lot of power and so smooth, which is what a Ferrari is like.
Well, especially the F12. I mean, the F12 was built as a GT car, so it's something that you can drive comfortably on a longer trip. The exhaust is there's just not enough of it. It's like, that's what bothers me about the car.
Right, it's very quiet for sure. I definitely thought it would be a little bit louder.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting, when I was looking at this car, it's a front mid-engine, right? It is like super centered, right?
I think if my understanding is correct, is the motor is essentially in the front of the, like right under the dashboard. I think. Granted, if we try to look down there, we can't see anything. But yes, it's very, very pronounced.
It just feels easy to drive, but I see that. Like, I see that if you're not used to it, like, it will throw you off, right? Yeah.
I mean, you get in it thinking that it's going to be a wild animal.
Yeah. The thing that throws me off is it my head isn't jerked back every time I shift. I was like, did I just shift?
Yeah, instant.
I know. Also, like, I guess one kind of off-camera thing, but like one really interesting thing is a lot of times you shift based on like the sound. Like you don't even have to look down.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do in this car if
Because
you can't
don't hear it.
Yeah.
I think the valves open at about 3,500 RPM. Because you notice how, like, right now we're silent, like hybrid mode, and then they do open. So you have to drive a little different than the other cars. You have to bring the RPMs up and stay stay above 4,000, and the sound will be there.
Cool. This is actually one of the most simple
Really
consoles,
simple, right?
Right, like there you have your temperature, reverse, manual, and PS's.
Power start.
Power start. Interesting.
Launch control.
It's funny that it's a push of a button. Make a little gap here.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
It pulls so hard.
I know.
Once you get into the RPM, it just goes.
Wow.
It's totally different compared to a Lamborghini.
It is. The power is there and it's really smooth.
Yeah, it's easy to extract.
Wow.
I love this interior though.
Yeah, right?
It's so different.
It's really interesting. This fabric we were talking about, we were like, I don't know what it is, but
yeah, it feels like a 3D printed, rubberized something or other. Yeah.
You were saying this car is optioned out too, right?
It's $130,000 in options.
Wow, 130.
130 in options. The sticker was $446 all in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and if you notice, there's no carbon fiber, which would have been even more expensive.
Right.
But it's this custom material.
It never gets old.
No.
All right, you ready?
Go.
We just blew by those cars.
Wow.
But I imagine this thing is a cop magnet, so I still have to be careful when you zoom through.
Yeah. The color is very subtle though.
I know,
Again,
it's silver.
It's not your typical bright red Ferrari with a tan interior. It's subtle, silver.
Yeah.
A black interior. $130,000 in a custom interior. Does it feel like 730 horsepower to you?
It does. It does. If I had to think of a number, it would be
730, maybe 731 to be exact.
But seriously, this car is so much fun to drive. And I love how, like, with all of these cars, like this Ferrari in particular, it looks super, like racy, like a video game almost, which is really interesting. And I think one of the funnier things is how you don't know what speed you're at, but you will know your RPM in this car. Okay.
And we'll put it in race mode.
All right, sweet.
Because that'll help bring the valves open. Like you can turn it right now.
Where?
The Manatino. So
yeah.
Flip the switch.
To race?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean we have a clearing in front of us.
All right, guys, we're in race mode. We're gonna test this car on this road. Here we go. Holy shit.
Thank you, Ferrari.
Thank you, Ferrari gods. Oh, shit.
Absolutely amazing power. Plus the dual clutch makes driving it really like effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about how you really start to hear the car, hear the valves and the engine at higher RPMs in this car. So maybe we'll have to do it again.
Test. Yeah.
do that. Oh,
and I think it's maybe like, what, about 5,000 and above?
Yeah. The car goes.
Mhm.
It goes.
But it's a gentleman car. It goes, but it doesn't, you know, make it too much noise. It's not all over the road.
Right.
The transmission shifts right when it needs to.
It's perfection,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. The slightest wheel movement though,
Yeah,
guys.
and you're moving all over the place. Yeah, now this is an adjustable suspension, but you really only have the ability to put it into bumpy road mode. So there's a button on the steering wheel, which will, you know, loosen the stabilizers a little bit.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the wheel, you've also got the LED shift lights.
It's definitely a two-hand driving car, so
Yeah.
I'm just...
Well, you don't have to take your hand off the wheel on a Ferrari. Everything is right there. You've got your paddles, you've got your turn signals, you've got high beams, even, you know, windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Everything right there at 9 and 3.
For sure. Feels like a little airplane, you know, like, you're like, here's how you put your life vest. You're talking, I'm like...
And there's even buttons behind the steering wheel to control the audio.
Wow. The speaker, it must be pretty good in this. It's a JBL speaker?
Yeah, this is the upgraded JBL sound system.
Right, 130 in options.
130,000 in options. I'm sure a few thousand of that was for audio. But the best audio is what comes out of the back of the car.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
The V12 Symphony.
Yep.
Never gets tiring. But for me, it almost does its job too well. It's a little numb.
You think so?
For me.
Yeah.
Maybe if it had a louder exhaust, maybe that's what I'm missing in that visceral feel.
Yeah.
But it just does its job when there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's fast. It's comfortable. It's a Ferrari. It's awesome.
Yeah. $440,000 worth of awesome.
I know. If you could quantify how much awesome this is.
It's a lot of thousands.
It's a high revving engine. It's awesome.
What is the red line?
Red line's at 8.5.
Wow. And it keeps pulling all the way up to red line.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. But one thing that's kind of notable about this car is does it do well? Actually, it's a good question for you. I think it does pretty well at low speeds. Like, it's not bucking too much.
No, not at all. I mean, the dual clutch transmission is what minimizes all of that. Like, it doesn't feel heavy, it feels really light.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
And in automatic mode, you know, if you're going to drive in automatic, it just does its job.
Because it's really interesting, because that's what, in my opinion, what makes a good daily. It's really crazy to think of an F12 as a daily, but
then again, that's what the F12 was made for. It is a Grand Tourer. It's a bigger, heavier, more comfortable, sophisticated, exotic car.
Yeah.
You know, and when you drive it in other modes, it drives really well, and then you flip it into race mode, and you can run it around the track a bunch of times.
For sure.
The weight. It's like waiting for the flag to drop.
I know. The thing is, we'll probably hit like 60 and be in like second gear. Like, we probably won't even make it out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a car behind us now.
Go for it. Wow. Wow. Okay, that just made my day.
Oh, man!
Wow.
That was amazing. Holy shit. Wow, the F12, something else.
Wow. Wow. That was a mixture of wheel spin and insane acceleration.
Yeah, the car just took off. Crazy. We just got back from the drive in the F12, and I wanted to share some more impressions with you guys. It was definitely a crazy car to drive. You guys saw that last launch. That was crazy. The tires were peeling out, a lot of power, super fun car. One thing I do have to say about this car though is I kind of did feel like it was a little unstable at high speeds and higher RPMs in general, which, I mean, it is a GT car. It's kind of a car meant to be, like, meant to cruise long distances, so it makes sense. But yeah, that was one thing that kind of stood out to me after driving this car. But in general, oh my God, wow. It was fun. Just fun is all I have to say. As you guys heard from the drive, it is also not super loud. I mean, it is at higher RPMs, you can definitely hear it for sure, but it doesn't scream and, like, you know, it's not deafening at all, for sure. And this one in particular too, because it's gray, it's not super flashy, which kind of depends on what you want. If you want a flashy car, this isn't super flashy, but it's definitely noticeable. You can't say that it's not noticeable, for sure. But pros, super comfortable. And as you guys saw, a lot of trunk space, which is great. And although it's comfortable, if you guys are my height, the sports seats are definitely probably not gonna work for you. So you better keep all your phone books for extra height if you really want sports seats with this car. I started to record and then I saw him coming and then I was like, I can't talk over that. But in all seriousness, guys, secondhand F12s are an amazing deal. This car, so sick, totally optioned out. You can actually get it at Elite Motor Cars if you wanted to. And if you get this one, you have the honor of having it driven by the one and only Saiwai, of course. Autovlog, I completely understand why you want the F12. It is just such an amazing car. And I think it's gonna make a really great pair with your C63S coupe. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe for more car reviews and more fun. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.